Are you dreaming of a burger platter, but want to keep it meat and dairy-free?
Vegan burger.
Plant-based burgers now come in many shapes, tastes, and sizes.
Vegan burger and fries.
So on today's show, I'll share my tasty and oh so quick to prepare vegan burger deluxe. So stay tuned. It's all here today on Jazzy Vegetarian.
Jazzy, you're gonna be healthy with the Jazzy Vegetarian. Jazzy, so snazzy. We're gonna cook something healthy and light. Jazzy, so snazzy.
So join me in the kitchen right now.
We're gonna cook something healthy and light. That's right.
Meat-free burgers are all the rage these days. Even fast food restaurants are offering vegan options. But what's a home cook in a hurry to do? My hearty, hungry guy burgers will satiate big appetites, while my crisp and tasty baked steak fries make an easy side dish to this classic pairing. And for a fabulous finish, my spectacular strawberry mountain pie will wow your diners, piled high with a dairyless cream filling and topped with fresh, juicy strawberries. So please, stay tuned. Strawberry mountain pie. This is really a very easy to put together pie, but it is so impressive, especially when you're having guests. I came up with this when my husband's relatives were coming to have some food with us, and I wanted to have a quick but very impressive dessert. I had some beautiful strawberries, and I thought, I've got to do something really spectacular with this. And it came out kind of looking and tasting like a pie you might find in a diner. They're all filled with lots of eggs and cream and all that stuff. This, of course, is totally vegan, so it's egg and dairy-free. Really, really good. And we're going to get started with our easy crust. What we have is some vegan cookies. You can use whatever you like. You could even use a gluten-free cookie for this, but keep in mind when you use a gluten-free cookie that's vegan for a cookie crust, it will tend to crumble a little bit, but it doesn't matter with this pie. It falls apart a little bit, it's still going to taste spectacular. So that's a great jazzy tip. What I have here today is one of my favorites, and it is vegan ginger cookies. I just get these at my supermarket. And we're going to start off by making 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of vegan cookie crumbs. So we're just going to kind of eyeball it. If you have any crumbs left over, you can store them in the refrigerator and serve them over a little bit of non-dairy coconut ice cream for dessert one night. That looks pretty good. And we're going to measure out 1 cup. Put it right in your bowl. Now 2 tablespoons. A little more, a little less is perfectly fine. This crust has nothing to do with rocket science. So you like a little thicker crust, you're going to add some more crumbs. A little thinner crust, less crumbs. So I have 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of vegan cookie crumbs. I used ginger cookies today. I love how they really complement the taste of the strawberries. But you could certainly use vegan graham crackers or even lemon cookies. You could use a vanilla wafer, a vanilla cookie. Anything that's dairy and egg-free that you like will work beautifully in this recipe. Now, I get a lot of emails about vegan margarine. I thought and I said, gee, what could I use in this crust instead of the vegan margarine? And it is tahini. Tahini is sesame butter. In other words, think about peanut butter, think about cashew butter, think about hazelnut butter, almond butter. It is made from ground sesame seeds, just like a nut butter is. I'm going to start off with 2 heaping tablespoons of sesame tahini. You want to make those nice big heaping tablespoons. And we're just going to blend this together with a dough blender. That's how we're going to get it started. So we have 2 heaping tablespoons of tahini in our crust already, and we're going to add another one. You do have to kind of eyeball it with this. Depends on how much liquid your tahini has in it. It depends on how moist the cookies are as to how much tahini you're going to use. Now I'm just adding a 1/4 tablespoon. Now at this point, you are going to kind of bring it together with your hands. So we've got 5 heaping tablespoons of tahini in our crust today. So I'm going to use a little bit of plant-based milk. And I'm adding 1½ tablespoons, and that'll be perfect. And that's what it should look like at this point. See how it's holding together in my hand, but yet there are still some little crumbs about. And we're going to press this evenly into a 9-inch round pie plate. And you want to bring it up the side, just like this. And then just using your fingers, press it firmly against the side of the pie plate. Remember, we didn't use any butter, of course, but we didn't use any vegan margarine. And we use that sesame tahini, which is going to give a little bit of a nutty taste to our crust. We're going to put this beautiful pie crust in a 400-degree preheated oven. We're going to bake it for 4 minutes. Then we're going to put it on a wire rack and let it cool for 10 minutes while we make our filling. And yep, that's easy too, so stay tuned. Well, I've just got my pie crust out of the oven, and I'm going to let it cool on a rack for 10 minutes before we fill it with our creamless filling. This is very, very easy, and this is how it goes. I've got 16 ounces of extra firm regular tofu, and what we've done is we've put it in a colander over a bowl, and we've let the water drain out of it. And before we put it into our blender, just going to press it out a little bit. So we're going to crumble our tofu right into our blender. And then I'm adding 8 ounces of soft silken tofu. And we've also let that drain in a colander over a bowl, and that's going to add some nice silkiness and creaminess. And then 1/3 cup of raw cashews. Now we do need just a little bit of sweet for this, and I'm actually using a vegan white sugar, but you can really use your preferred dry sweetener in this. Don't use maple syrup in this particular pie because it'll make it too liquidy for the filling. So I've got 1/3 cup of vegan white sugar. Just toss that right in there, plus 1 tablespoon. I think that's going to be perfect. Take a look at that. That's nice and creamy, nice and smooth. That's what you're looking for in this strawberry mountain pie. So my pie crust has cooled. It's still warm. You just don't want it to be hot. You want to be able to handle it. We're just going to pour our filling right into the pie crust. You see that consistency? That's the consistency of heavy cream when it's been whipped and it's almost turning into butter. That's the consistency you're looking for. Because we're not using any eggs in this recipe, it's actually the firmness in that extra firm tofu that we used that's going to bring the filling all together as we bake it. Spread it in a nice even layer, and we're going to be putting this into a 400-degree preheated oven, and we're going to bake it for 20 to 30 minutes or until it's nice and firm to the touch. It's still going to be slightly soft in the middle, and then we're going to cool it. That is absolutely beautiful. Well, there's my strawberry mountain pie. Oops, no strawberries yet, but that's a little surprise to come. Well, up next, steak fries. Baked steak fries, that is. And they come together in a flash, so stay tuned. Here's a great jazzy tip. When I bake potatoes at the beginning of the week, whether they be regular russets like this or sweet potatoes, I always bake up, 4 or 5 extra. They're great for so many things, like these baked steak fries. They're also great just to slice and put into a salad. You know, I love to make my twice-baked potatoes with them too. So the next time you're baking up potatoes, to save a little time during the week in your kitchen, bake up a few extras. That's a great jazzy tip. But I love these baked steak fries. First of all, they taste absolutely delicious. They are oil-free. And when I first served them to my husband, he was like, oh, yeah, these are just like French fries. So just, you don't have to tell him how easy it is. It'll be our little secret. So I'm beginning with 4 large white russet potatoes, which we have baked and chilled. And I'm going to cut them each into thick wedges. Just like that. And I'm going to arrange them on a large baking sheet that's lined with a bit of unbleached parchment paper. And I got this idea, in fact, when I had some leftover baked potatoes. And I was thinking of years ago. I was in New York City, and I had a lunch break from a rehearsal, and there was nowhere vegetarian anywhere in the neighborhood. So I went into a steakhouse and I got some steak fries. I always remembered those steak fries, and I said, gee, I'd like to do them oil-free, and I'd like to make sure that they're very easy. And I was very surprised at how fantastic these come out. You do want to arrange them in a single layer so they bake, not steam. We're having them along with our Hungry Guy burgers today, so I thought they'd make a great complement to that. So you're going to cut each potato into 8 to 12 wedges, depending on how big the potato is. Well, this is perfect. Let me just wash off my hands. What are we going to flavor them up with? I love chili powder, and we're just going to sprinkle that right over the top. And I've got 1 scant tablespoon of chili powder. And then I have a teaspoon of garlic powder, and that powder is going to coat the top. It's going to start to cook. It's going to start to turn nice and golden, and it's going to help to give a nice crispy crust without using any oil on these baked steak fries. It really does smell good. You wouldn't think with just these 4 ingredients all together that it's going to make a very, very tasty fry. Of course, we're going to serve this with some ketchup. I also like to serve it with a little bit of chili sauce. Is also very, very good. And then some sea salt. We're going to put some sea salt on now. We're going to use 1/2 teaspoon. Once we pull them out of the oven, we're going to put some more sea salt on them. My mouth is watering. We have our oven preheated to 400 degrees, and we're going to bake these fries for 30 to 40 minutes or until they're very crispy, very dark and golden. Then you're going to let them cool on a wire rack for 5 minutes and season them with some more sea salt to taste. It's that easy. You do want to check them halfway through. You might want to turn them over so they get evenly browned. Well, I've been so excited to show you this next recipe. They're my Hungry Guy burgers, and they're for any hungry person in your family who's craving a vegan burger. So stick around for that. But first, let's put our strawberries on the pie. And we just got this out of the oven. Doesn't it look fantastic? Nice and firm to the touch. That's what we're looking for. And we're letting this cool about 5 minutes or so before we put on our strawberries. We've got some beautiful strawberries. You want to get nice, big, delectable ones just like that. That's why this is great to make after you've been to the farm market or you've been strawberry picking. All you need to do is slice off the very green top, because we're going to want them to sit upright on our pie, just like little mountains. And this is how you get started. Just set them right in. The pie still needs to be a little bit warm on the top for this to work. And you're just going to start working around the outside of the pie, and you're basically going to make a nice mountainy top with these beautiful, beautiful strawberries.
Put them on the top of the pie. Mountain strawberry pie. Got preserves and water, cashew tofu filling, a cookie crumb crust.
Nice big one in the middle. They're just like the Red Ridge Mountains. I think that's kind of a song, is it not?
strawberry mountain pie. Red strawberries for you and I. Mountain pie, love that mountain pie.
We're going to finish it off with some strawberry preserves. And what I have here is 2 heaping tablespoons of strawberry preserves, and I'm adding 2 teaspoons of spring water. I'm going to mix that all together. Now you just want to get some of that over the top and kind of in between there, so it runs down the side of those strawberries. And if they're a little bit wobbly, just press them in. Since the pie is still a little bit warm, basically what's going to happen when it's in the refrigerator is the strawberries are going to settle down into the filling, kind of making, well, a strawberry mountain. Pretty cool, right? And so you just want to drizzle strawberry preserves right over the top of the pie. If it gets a little dry, add just a little bit more water. Just like that. Make sure each strawberry has some of that beautiful strawberry preserve glaze on it. And then just brush a little in between. When you slice the pie, everybody gets these big strawberries. Then you've got this creamy filling and that crumbly, crusty crust. There it is, my strawberry mountain pie. Let's get this into the refrigerator. We're going to chill it for anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, or if you'd like to enjoy it warm, it'll be like a nice custard pie. Really, really fabulous. Now, on to our Hungry Guy burgers. I've got a big hungry crew here today, so they're really going to enjoy these vegan burgers, so stay tuned. Hungry guy, I got a big hungry guy. My husband always complained that I didn't make the burgers big enough. I kept taking 1/4 of a cup and measuring out my burgers. He said, they're just not big enough. Then I took 1/3 of a cup and he said, why can't you make those burgers bigger? So then I took 1/2 of a cup and I made these Hungry Guy burgers, and he really loved them. Of course, I didn't tell them there were only 5 ingredients. That's 5 ingredients. So these are wonderful to make when you're really, really in a rush. So let's just get started. And what I have here is 1 can of black beans, which we have drained and rinsed. Just toss them right in there. And then we have 2/3 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons of prepared salsa. I'm using the medium salsa. You could also use mild salsa. You could use nice hot salsa. That would give a nice little pizzazz to your Hungry Guy burgers. I'm taking my trusty potato masher. I'm just going to mash it all together until that salsa is combined into those beans, and we start breaking those black beans up a little bit. And I'm just mashing it all together. All right, that's just perfect. Now we need something just to hold them together and to give them a little bit of texture. And what I'm using is some breadcrumbs. And I'm just taking 3 medium slices of whole grain sprouted bread, breaking them right into the blender container. You can certainly use gluten-free bread if you'd like, but keep in mind that the gluten-free bread will not help to hold the burgers together as much as the whole wheat bread will. And then I've got 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin. Yummy yum. And we're just gonna make this into crumbs. Nice, fresh breadcrumbs. Now you do need to use fresh breadcrumbs for this. If you use the dried variety that comes in the can in the store, you're just gonna end up with really dry Hungry Guy burgers. And as you can see, this is not an exacting recipe. Just wanna keep a little more salsa on the side if for some reason your burgers seem a little bit dry at the end. Let's incorporate this all together. That smells good. And then 2/3 of a cup of rolled oats. Just incorporate them right in there. Now it's just a little bit dry, so you want to keep a little bit of that salsa on the side. And right now, I'm going to add another tablespoon of salsa. I want to make sure to put the whole burger recipe together, and then if it seems just a little bit dry, just add a little bit more salsa. And I think that's going to do it. Yeah, that's looking good. Smells so good too. Woo! Let's put these Hungry Guy burgers together. Take half cup measure, and you're just going to press this Hungry Guy burger into the half cup measure and just plop it right down onto a large baking sheet, just like that.
Black beans, cumin, salsa, roll those. You got some breadcrumbs too. Makes the Hungry Guy burger.
Even I do not cook a gourmet meal every night of the week. As a matter of fact, the reason I come up with these recipes is I'm looking for something really fast, really easy. Now, these burgers come together in about 15 minutes, so they're a great candidate when you are putting a quick weeknight meal together. This recipe is in my cookbook. There's the last one there. Plop it on there. And we're just going to shape it into a nice burger here. Oh yeah, plenty of protein in these burgers with those black beans. And a nice bit of fiber, of course, in those black beans too. All right, there's the last one there. Well, there they are, my Hungry Guy burgers, all ready to go into a 375-degree oven that we have preheated. We're going to bake them for 20 minutes, then we're going to flip them over and bake them for about another 8 to 12 minutes or until they're nice and golden. I smell those potatoes are cooking. I know that fantastic strawberry mountain pie is chilling in the refrigerator. I'm going to put it all together for you, and I'm going to taste this fabulous Burger Deluxe meal. So stay tuned. Wowie zowie, it's my Burger Deluxe meal. Kind of the type of meal you might get in a diner, but it's all vegan. Ooh yeah, the Veganese Jazzy Diner. That's what we have here today. Of course, we've got our burger. That's a classic dish in a diner. And we have our baked steak fries. Now, how enticing are they? And my beautiful strawberry mountain pie. Just like those baked goods you see when you walk into a diner, turning round and round and round in that carousel with all those spotlights on them. I don't know what to eat first. Potatoes. I have plated them up here with a little bit of ketchup. They're nice and crispy. Man, they're just like those steak fries I got at that steakhouse when I was looking for a vegan restaurant in between rehearsals in New York City. But keep in mind, no oil. We made them out of baked potatoes. They are really fantastic. Well, look at my burger. Isn't that a nice way to plate it up? We got a pita, and we've just nestled it in there. Of course, you can also serve it with the classic burger bun. I'm going to put a little bit of ketchup on that. You can put mustard on it too. It's really good. I think you're going to be surprised. Now you know I can't wait to taste this dessert. Look at how pretty this is. Can you imagine serving this to your family and your friends, particularly in the summertime with fresh strawberries? Well, I'm just going to take a nice bite. Oh yeah, a little bit of that crust. Nice big strawberry, that strawberry glaze, that beautiful custard we've got there that we did with our silken tofu, our extra firm tofu, and our cashews. Yum. That's an absolute triumph, if I do say so myself. What a classic diner meal. But of course, you can only get it at the Veganese Diner. So the next time you need deluxe recipes for a meat-free burger meal, I hope you'll look to today's tantalizing recipes. So until next time, be happy, be healthy, and be well from the Jazzy Vegetarian.
Visit our website at jazzyvegetarian.com to connect with Laura, see video clips, find your favorite recipes, and more. Follow Laura on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Laura Theodore's Vegan Ease includes all of the recipes featured this season and is available for $26.95. The cookbook is enhanced with over 200 beautiful full-color photos and features complete menu plans, shopping lists, and more than 130 recipes. For information or to order, visit jazzyvegetarian.com.
Change.
change.